What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm excited to do another construction tour overview for you guys. This is for a project we just closed on literally 2 months ago, and this was a cool one. This was a package portfolio we bought that consisted of a 3-family in Boston and 2 parcels of land that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to give you guys the full overview right now. Let's get in there. I'll talk about how we found the deal, how we financed, and what exactly we are doing. So in terms of how we actually found the deal, we got this through a local wholesaler who brought us the deal that we knew. So that's always fantastic. That's why we always like to network with both brokers and wholesalers. A number of our deals lately have come through those sources. So let's go inside this unit. I'll talk a little bit more in terms of financing. This was a tricky one, right? We only had legitimately 3 weeks to close on this deal when we got it. So we didn't have time to go through our local community bank, right? Because they typically need 45 to 60 days. So we did have to use a hard money loan on this, right? So a hard money loan is obviously more expensive. The interest rate is more expensive. There's points up front, but we had to do what we had to do because it was a really great deal and we really wanted it. Now, you can see in terms of scope of work, this is not the full type of gut rehab that we normally do. The building was actually in pretty decent condition for the most part. So we kind of chopped it up a little bit, right? We did do some new electrical, but you could see the existing layout we kept basically identical. And if you guys are not from Boston, these triple deckers, we call them, the 3 families, they all have almost identical layouts. So this is always the kind of living dining. You have another bedroom in the back, kitchens and bathroom on the right side. So it's very, very typical type of building. So we decided to keep the layout the same. We didn't want to start doing open concept or anything like that because these are going to be rental units at the end of the day. So we did do new electrical. You can see we did some new board. The floors actually here we're keeping. These are the original hardwood floors. And you can see, even though they kind of look dirty right now, once this all gets cleaned up, we'll just sand them down and they will look really, really nice. So now let's go actually into the kitchen and bath. That's the other place where we're doing a lot of work on because obviously there was very old finishes there when we bought the building. So the kitchen and bath, we did redo a lot of the plumbing behind the walls. Now you can see there's brand new cabinets up here. There's brand new appliances, new granite countertops, which are sealed off right now. So the kitchen baths are gonna look very, very modern, but it's still gonna have kind of like that old classic Boston look to it. So there's like some old wooden trims. You can see some of the doors are the old wooden doors that you see in a lot of the old buildings here. These will be certainly renovated apartments that will command top dollar, but they will certainly have kind of like an old character-y charm to them, which I think is really, really cool. The one other place I'll show you guys real quick, as I said, we have the kitchen over there and the bath is right here. So that's why you redo the plumbing right in between them. So the bathroom right here, as you can see, was completely redone as well. So that will look really, really sharp. We got one more bedroom, so this will be total a 3-bed, 1-bath apartment. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the financing. So I mentioned that we got a hard money loan for this. For the down payment, right? On this particular deal, we took out private money, right? That we're paying an interest rate on in order to finance the deal, right? So that private money lender came in, gave us the money in exchange for an interest rate, and we basically now have 1 year on that money before the hard money loan is due to expire and the private money is due to expire and needs to be paid back. So this will probably be done within the next month or 2 at most and leased out probably within a month and a half. I know we're already starting to get some applications in. So what we're thinking is once this completely gets leased out, there's gonna be so much value created here just because of the purchase price we bought it at and how much work we've done that we'll be able to cleanly cash out refinance, right? We'll go to actually a local community bank, ask them for a loan on this property, pay off both the hard money, pay off the private debt, and then just sit on nice long-term commercial debt with tenants in here that will create a nice cash flowing asset. All right, so the other component to this, besides the 3-family, which I am super, super excited about, is, as I said, this portfolio also came with 2 parcels of land right next to the house. Now, usually when I buy land, I like to buy it with what's called a contingency, right? A zoning contingency. Because the thing with buying land is you don't really know what you're gonna get because you don't know what the neighborhood will approve and eventually what the city will issue you permits for. But based on the price that we got for the land, I actually felt comfortable closing on it as is within 3 weeks. Now, we have to start figuring out exactly what we're gonna try and permit the land for, and I have a pretty good idea of what we can get. So as you can see, the land parcel, one of the parcels is right here, and then there's actually a back parcel on the back right corner. So these two parcels together almost make like a little bit of an L, if I can figure out how to use my hands properly. But basically they come out to just over, I think, like 5,000 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. So what we're gonna do is actually propose a 4-unit rental building, very similar to another project that you might have seen a video on, where that is also gonna be ground up construction that we got approved for. And that 4-unit building was actually on a smaller lot. It was 3,000 or 3,500 square feet. So it's certainly a risk, and there's certainly a chance that we're gonna have a lot of fights with neighbors, and obviously we don't have a zoning contingency, right? Because we own this land right now. But again, this is kind of when you know your neighborhood, when you know your market, when you've done other projects in these cities, you kind of start to build a sense of what you think you can get approved, what not, right? We obviously also discussed this with our architect, with a zoning attorney. So we did a fair amount of due diligence and homework to really try and figure out what can we do with this land. So we actually just got the first draft back from my architect about the proposed plans. It's gonna be a really sexy looking building. It's gonna be right over here, 4 big, large units. It's gonna have a ton of parking on the right-hand side, and actually that whole back lot over there is gonna be all parking, which is really important in Boston because Boston's a tight city with a shitload of cars and no parking, so everyone's always concerned about parking. But we're gonna start the process, we're gonna propose this to the neighborhood, see what kind of feedback we get, and then eventually work our way up to the zoning process within the building department at the city. So finally, just to give you guys some context on the numbers, this specific parcel we bought for $200,000. Now, once we get it approved and permitted, if we get it permitted for 3 to 4 units, the market value of that is actually gonna be somewhere between $500,000 to maybe $700,000. So we're working with a lot of potential spread, hence why I decided to take that risk and close on this land, because the upside was really, really good on it. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Again, we'll obviously try to make the best possible fit for the community and figure it out from there. So I'll keep you guys posted on this project. Obviously, if you guys have any questions about any of this, make sure you comment below.